Hello world, Jacob here again, and I'm back with another project, also NotebookLM oriented, but this time, as you can see, I decided to create a CLI. And the reason is, not many tell us that MCP are great and awesome, but the problem is they occupy a lot of space in your context window. And as the context window becomes bigger and bigger, the AI become dumber and dumber. I think we all been in the situation where you went into Claude Code and it did a compact, and after that weird things started to happen, hallucinations, mistakes, it forgotten things you told it prior. So I decided to take all the work I've done and more with the NotebookLM MCP and put it into the NotebookLM CLI. I hope you like what we're going to show you today. So one line install, and the way to do it, I'll use UV. I'll open my terminal, run it. I'm done. So if I do NLM, you'll see all the options, and you can see it's quite comprehensive. It includes all the tools in the MCP. Now it's in the CLI. And one of the first things obviously we need to do is to log in. And the process is very similar to the NotebookLM MCP. It's going to use a browser. So I'm going to go through the entire process with NLM login. And it's going to open a browser. It's going to try to go to NotebookLM, but this is a fresh new installation. I don't have my profile, so give me a minute. I'll log in and we'll continue. Okay, we're in. What you saw was just the logging process, and you also notice now we are closing the browser after we've done authentication because we want to make sure that future logging attempts will not be locked because the Chrome is already open. What are we going to do next? So we're going to create a test notebook for quantum computing, a very fascinating topic, and it's listed. And you can see it returns a long UUID. I'm getting old. I'm not great at remembering long UUIDs, so I'm going to use an alias. And we have an alias command. So for example, if I'll do NLM, alias, and you can see all the options that are available. Let's set one for the quantum. And I'm going to do NLM, alias, set. We're going to call it quantum, and I'll paste the UUID. And now it's all set. So let's see if it's really lit, because you can see we have a command called list. So we'll do NLM alias list. So that was cool. What does it allows you essentially? The CLI, as you know, just like many other CLI, now you have the ability to do sequential or programmatic and create content. So that's where we wait. Let's start a deep research. So I'm running command NLM research start. The topic is going to be quantum computing breakthroughs in 2026. I think we just started 2026. Probably nothing will emerge. So let's change that to 2025. Deep. It's going to be deep research, and it's going to be the notebook ID quantum. I just created an alias. Let's let it run. Okay, so it ran the research. You can see it started. Let's confirm that. Let's go back into the NotebookLM. Let's refresh this. Here's our Quantum 2025 notebook. Let's close this because we don't have any sources yet. And now it's going to run the process. We'll give it a few minutes, and we can always check the status because we have a status command, NLM research status, and the name of the notebook. So now this will poll the NotebookLM until it's ready, and once it sees the completed status, it will report back. So we'll wait.
A few minutes later.
Okay, we're back. So as you can see, it reported the research has completed. Let's verify in the NotebookLM. And yes, it's ready to import. So of course, we are not going to touch the UI today. We're only going to use the CLI. So now let's run the command to import all sources. It's going to be NLM research import and the name of the notebook. And that will take also a little bit of time because there will be a lot of imports. 79 to be exact. That's the number of sources we're going to be importing. So if we go back, you'll see it's going to be importing what it can. Some of them will fail. Source is empty. Okay, bad search. And let it finish. Okay. Everything imported. Not everything. Some of them failed, which is very typical for NotebookLM. So now let's go back into the notebook, and I want to show you something cool. What we're going to be doing is we're going to create some content. So in this folder, I have a script I created. Very basic script that will now take the name. As you can see, the usage is very simple. All I need to do is dot generate all, and this will trigger, it's going to create an audio overview, a podcast. It's going to generate a briefing doc. It's going to generate a quiz, and it's going to check the status. So let's see if it works. And this is the point of a CLI, which allows you to execute multiple commands in a bash file or script. So you could do really unique, crazy things. So you can see it says 3 resources created and they're in progress. So if we go back, you can see these are the resources. So everything seems to work, right? But I still have one more thing I want to show you. So what we can do, we can also chat. So as you know, we have the ability to send query. But since this is a CLI, I said, why not do a REPL? A sort of command line console that I can chat directly. And let me show you how to do that. So it's going to be NLM chat start quantum. So it asks me, what do you want to ask? So I will say, what is the biggest discovery in quantum computing in 2025? Let's see what I'm going to get. And of course, this also takes time. It's using a thinking model. NotebookLM was upgraded with Gemini 3. So it takes a little bit time to think and provide a response. And you'll see that the response will include the name of the notebook in case you forgot. And as you can see, there are a few things. They may look trivial, but you have no idea how much time I spent on grabbing the right source citation and link them to the right source, because it's based on chunking on the NotebookLM. Forget about it. It's too technical, but I was able to do that. You'll see the full response, what the quantum computing notebook responded, and all the sources that it cited in case you don't believe it. Let's exit. And we have a slash command to exit. And now I want to show you something really cool. Even Claude and Gemini, I was working using both Claude and Gemini in anti-gravity to create this. They loved it because I created this tool to be used both by humans and AI. So one of the things I added was a flag specifically for AI that spits out everything that the AI needs to know on how to use this tool. It's a lot, but this tool is comprehensive. So let's see how it works with Claude, for example. Let's launch Claude. Okay, so let's tell it. You have access to a NotebookLM CLI tool. Please use NLM-AI to understand how to use it. Let's see if it's able to do that. Yeah, let's let it. Okay, so let's see if it works. Can you confirm the logging state, and if everything works, please list all my notebooks. There we go. It says I have 33 notebooks. And now I want to show you something really cool. If you ever wanted to share a notebook that you've created with others, but you can't show all the sources, maybe some of them are personal, but the only way to do it is copy sources manually one at a time. And that's tricky. That's time consuming and nobody's doing it. So I want to show you how I can clone a notebook and create a copy of it. So let's ask Claude to do that and see how we will handle it. I want you to create a clone of the NVIDIA Rubin NotebookLM. So what you need to do is list all the sources, note their URLs, their type, and then create a new notebook LM called NVIDIA Rubin Clone and paste all the URL and sources from the original NVIDIA Rubin notebook. Yes, definitely break it down by steps. Good, is listing all the sources, the URL. When you do the full command, so you already know how to use the tool, because the full will show the name of the source and the URL and its type. So let's let it run. The next command is creating the new one. So let's quickly go back into our notebook and refresh it. And here's the original. Here is the clone. If we go back into Claude Code, you can see it is adding the sources it grabbed from the target, from the source to the target. So now it's going to list the sources of the new clone, and they should be identical. Yes, it says that it was successfully cloned. Oh, to PDF. Okay, so let's try to use that. Can you use the option to grab the raw content of these two PDFs and then paste them into the NVIDIA Rubin clone as pasted text? Do it one at a time. Go. Let's see if we'll figure it out. Is going to try to source content of the PDF. So you can see it getting the raw content available. So I hope it's going to paste it into a text file because it's probably too large for its context. Yeah, it's dumping them into a text file. And now it's going to add it into the clone. And let's see, we should have all 9. Go here, refresh. And there we go. We have a complete clone of the NVIDIA Rubin NotebookLM, and we've created a new one using the sources. It's quite impressive, right? I don't know. I think it's awesome. To be honest, I'm using this more than the MCP. So that's NotebookLM CLI. I really spent a lot of time working on it, making sure it's stable, usable, and I'm using it a lot, so that was the main purpose. All the tools I create are first for me, because they're coming from a need. Hope you enjoy this. Go check it out. Go crazy. Go create awesome things with it. Automate your second brain in a level that nobody saw before. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers. AI spotlight illuminating the future of AI.